Every human civilization have been in touch with extraterrestrial beings.
In India, Israel,
the Mayans, and the Aztecs.
The idea that there was one or more non-human groups inspiring this is the truth.
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings. But what if it were true? Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history?
People want the truth. I think there's something in the human being itself that is striving, that is hungry for this knowledge in order to answer questions about our own existence.
An enormous flying creature, born of a raging inferno. A vicious three-headed dog, guarding the gates of hell. And mysterious sea serpents, terrorizing mankind. But are such monsters just mythical creatures of fantasy? Or did they actually exist in the ancient past?
There was some kind of experimentation going on. Let's take this animal and give him two heads. Let's take this dragon and give him wings.
these creatures are direct products of extraterrestrial genetic experimentations in our past.
There's a lot of ancient artwork that clearly shows an actual reptilian species being worshipped by humans. Some sort of reptilian presence that was here on the earth in the ancient past.
The question is it possible that our ancestors saw something that they tried to imitate? And the answer is a resounding yes.
Also be possible that the Thunderbird was not really a creature at all, but something even more incredible.
A Thunderbird was enormous. It made enormous noises, so the thunder part of it could sound like a jet engine.
Its eyes was able to literally pierce and emanate fire. We have this large flying winged creature which gives off a thunderous sound and lights fly from its eyes. That to me suggests that we could be dealing with some sort of craft.
Native Indians in North America, they know, of course, the bird. But now something differently arrived. An object which could fly, which is bigger than the eagle, but at the same time makes tremendous noise. So you have the creation of the
When
Thunderbird.
the airplanes first started going out up in the sky here in the Southwest, they referred them to as metal birds. As a matter of fact, when the first fixed-wing craft landed in Zuni, the Indians over there actually went out there and worshipped the airplane.
It makes me think of a concept called cultural tracking, which is the idea that UFOs can mask themselves to appear as almost anything. You go back to ancient China and they talk about the flying dragons. You go back to the ancient Egyptians, they talk about flying boats. You go to the Roman times and they're talking about flying shields. Perhaps that was just their interpretation, or perhaps that's what they actually saw.
According to scholars, the Maya believed that powerful gods descended to Earth from the stars, including a feathered serpent known as Kukulkan.
According to Mayan legend, Kukulkan was the winged serpent, some serpent god who could fly.
Kukulkan by the Maya is depicted in a number of ways. Sometimes he is human, sometimes he's a serpent. Sometimes we see him emanating from a serpent's head. We know that there's no way that a human being can emerge from a physical serpent. So the serpent must stand for something else, either a construction or a device.
So if you look up in the air today and you watch a plane and it leaves behind this plume of smoke as it travels across the sky, and you've got the snake's tail wiggling out its backside. So if you look at it from that perspective, that can be described as a flying snake.
Is it really possible, as some ancient astronaut theorists suggest, that Kukulkan was, in fact, a flying spacecraft, engineered and piloted by otherworldly visitors? And if so, could this explain the frequent depictions of this ancient Mayan god as having a face appearing out of a serpent's head, similar to that of a pilot operating a vehicle?
Mythology is the effort to grasp what we can't grasp, to understand what is beyond us. In the Eastern teachings, the dragons very often carry people, sometimes on their back, sometimes inside their bellies. So if we think of them as a poet's effort to explain a vehicle that was strange to them.
Now, were these dragons truly dragons in a biological nature? Or were they misinterpreted types of machines? Because, as we all know, dragons are always correlated with spewing fire and a lot of smoke. Whenever we see a modern rocket take off, there's all this smoke. And sometimes the smoke is yellow, and sometimes it's red. So it's very bizarre how we have these correlations between the ancient times and modern times today.